Today on the Morning Edition, a distress call from a ship responded to by a cruise ship, but a yacht in the area didn't respond, raising questions of what is and what isn't required of capable vessels near boats in distress. We'll break down what we know. Plus, the LNG gas line may finally have some movement with a new bill being introduced in this third special session. We have the latest and what lawmakers are saying. And later, back to school season is pulling us all in, and it's a good time for a reminder that bus safety doesn't start and end with just a bus driver. We'll share some tips as the Morning Edition starts now. Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us today. Did you ride the bus to school, or did you walk, or did your parents bring you?
It was kind of a mix of walking. If I missed the bus, I walked because I lived less than a mile from school. I even remember walking to school in kindergarten because it was literally right around the block. Always getting on the school bus, and we had the little Walkmans or the CD players, and they'd skip every single time.
Oh, no.
It's the worst thing.
I lived pretty close to school, but my mom drove me, so it was kind of a little too far to walk.
I always remember those memories on the school bus. And of course, as we continue to head through this week, as we head back to school, we've got some warm conditions taking hold across the state. We are waking up. We've got, again, some haze as well as a possible smoky smell in the atmosphere to start off this morning. We've got the ridge of high pressure that's building in. We've been seeing some of that smoke filtering in from parts of the interior, possibly even seeing some of that smoke building in from Canada. But as far as what we're dealing with this morning, we've got 55 degrees in terms of those temperatures. We are also watching some localized areas of fog as you head out towards parts of the Kenai. While a ridge of high pressure is building in across the state, we are beginning to see that marine layer building in across parts of South Central. So if you live across western parts of the Kenai, up the Cook Inlet region, each and every morning, we could hold on to that potential for morning fog, and we could also see some cloud coverage lingering for the first part of the morning into the early afternoon each day with that marine layer. Visibility in Wasilla down to 7 miles, 6-mile visibility in Talkeetna. As you head out towards western parts of the Kenai, you can see visibility is down to 1 mile this morning. So we're already beginning to see that marine layer. And for areas of the western Kenai, it may be some time before we see that sunshine peeking through later today. We are on the quiet side, dry as we continue to head through the rest of today. We've got that ridge of high pressure at the surface. That's that southerly flow that we're seeing that's pulling in that marine layer that we're going to see. Now, as we head into the higher levels of the atmosphere, you can see the actual ridge itself that's building in from southeast into south central and spreading across a good portion of the state. That is going to continue to reinforce these warm conditions across the state as this week is going to continue to bring daily highs warming near 70 degrees across south central. Coming up in my full forecast, we'll be talking about more about that, as well as that 7-day. I'll have those details coming up.
We're learning new information about a Wasilla man charged for allegedly making death threats against a Michigan mayor. James Lawhorn is facing 8 felony counts and appeared in federal court Monday. We visited a Wasilla residence listed under Lawhorn's name, but the property had multiple no trespassing signs. The charging docs allege Lawhorn made threats against a mayor in Michigan, saying things such as, quote, "We're coming for that sorry scumbag." 7 of the counts are for threats in interstate commerce, with court documents detailing how Lawhorn allegedly made threats via Facebook, through a city website, and over the phone. The documents don't state the name of the person being threatened or the city in Michigan that they are mayor of. Lawhorn sent over 20 threatening messages, according to charging documents, often using slurs and expletives. Some of those messages are detailed in the documents, including, quote, "This mayor needs to be killed now, hang him and all his family now. He is not safe on the streets anymore." It also says, "No sleep until he is in the dirt, along with all of his scum family and friends and Muslims." If convicted, Lawhorn could serve up to 5 years in prison and pay a $250,000 fine. The documents don't speak to motive, but those quotes we just shared a moment ago were a small sliver of many more like it, speaking against the mayor's religion, using language and slurs, and specifically threatening an elected official's life, going so far as to call for them to be hung or killed by firing squad. It's a story that's blown up online, raising new questions about who has to stop when a boat is in trouble. It started as just a routine cruise, but a late-night call for help changed it all. Tech billionaire Mark Zuckerberg's yacht didn't respond to the call. Jace Bertrand spoke to Michael Love, a software engineer from New York who was on the cruise when the call came in for air.
There was a big commotion outside. The lights were on, which doesn't normally happen. You could hear the sort of crane lowering a skiff in the water. There was a lot of talking.
Michael Love would later learn that the commotion was caused by his cruise ship responding to a request for aid by a 21-foot skiff that had ran out of fuel. The next day, he also learned that Mark Zuckerberg's $300 million yacht, named the Launchpad, had been in the area when the call came in.
And he also mentioned Zuckerberg, and they'd heard the radio call and that the launch pad was closer and had not responded. There was a lot of booing. Everyone pretty much, it was nobody in that boat was a fan of Facebook.
Love posted his thoughts about the incident on Blue Sky, prompting debates and backlash. A spokesperson for Meta told CBS on Sunday that Zuckerberg and his family weren't on the yacht at the time, and that the ship's radio was tuned to a different frequency when the call was sent out, saying, quote, "As the Coast Guard noted, the boat was not in distress. We're grateful all parties are safe." However, international maritime law isn't entirely clear as to what defines a ship as being in distress. A 2024 joint resolution from the United Nations called for the definition to include a ship being out of fuel. Under maritime law, all ships, both private and state-owned, are obligated to participate in search and rescue operations as long as the action can be, quote, reasonably expected. That reasonable expectation may wind up being the center of this debate.
Kind of gave us a little talk on how that's not considered good behavior, that you're always supposed to respond to these things. Sort of didn't know why they weren't monitoring their radio.
Jace Bertrand, Alaska's news source.
While Zuckerberg and Meta are continuing to face backlash online, at this point, there was no indication any U.S. or maritime laws were broken, though it does shed some light on possible clarifications needed for these laws. We've reached out to the Coast Guard for comment, but have not yet heard back. Well, are we any closer to getting an LNG pipeline? After not one, but 3 special sessions, Governor Mike Dunleavy tells us he will be announcing a compromised version of a contested bill, one he and the developers say could create the pipeline. Majority lawmakers are still uncertain. The compromise include a corporate income tax on S corporations. It's something bipartisan majority lawmakers have been fighting for. But Senate Majority Leader Kathy Giessel says it may not be enough and that new concerns over transparency and price create serious questions. Dunleavy said he'll introduce the bill in the next few days, but as it stands, Giessel isn't certain it'll soothe majority concerns.
The S Corp we're putting in the bill would have a effective date of 3 years, January 2030, or first gas. It would also have a rate of 2%. So we are compromising after talking with a number of folks, legislators and others. We are compromising, and we are putting in an S Corp.
Well, you're referring to one small piece of that bill. And I realize that perhaps the governor and others may feel that the S Corp piece was the deciding factor. There were other deciding factors in this bill.
The gas line is a very complicated issue and has changed a lot in the last several months. For more details on what we know about the governor's plan and the scrutiny on it, visit our website or mobile app. Still ahead today on the Morning Edition, it's time to make the checklist and ensure everything is ready. School supplies, new clothes, shoes fit, school registration complete, vaccines up to date. If you forgot one, there's still time. We'll run through your checklist with you. What are you looking forward to about school?
Seeing my classmates and meeting my teachers.
Not really.
How come? How are you feeling?
Well, junior year, that's like a lot of work, but it's okay. We'll get through it. Excited to see what new kids are going to be there.
And more sunshine expected as we head throughout the day, but we are watching some rain out west. I'll have more on that. First at sunrise, coming in at 5:58 in Anchorage, 5:11 in June.
Welcome back in on this Tuesday morning with a look over Midtown. Aaron, you say we do have a nice stretch of weather ahead.
Yeah, but each morning we may here across South Central see that marine layer, which means some fog each morning as well as some cloud coverage. But each afternoon we certainly will see that sunshine paving the way for a gorgeous afternoon. 40s and 50s across the state this morning. Of course, as you head north towards the slope, we've got 37 degrees as you head out towards Dead Horse. But many areas of the state continue to hold on to some pleasant weather. We are going to begin to see some increasing rain, though, as you head across western parts of the state here over the next couple of days. Notice mainland Alaska largely on the quiet side. We've got that ridge of high pressure at the surface as you head out towards the Gulf of Alaska. But as you head into the upper levels of the atmosphere, the actual ridge itself centered right over south central parts of Bristol Bay. We've got a low as you head out towards the Beaufort Seacoast and areas really right around the Canadian-Alaska border. Beginning to see signs that a blocking pattern is setting up across the state. We'll continue to watch this, but of course that means ongoing warm weather will build in across the state. With the overall weather pattern that we do have set up across South Central, we are seeing kind of a transport of some haze and smoke that's been building into South Central the past couple of days. That really shouldn't cause any significant issues, but you may smell some smoke as well as see those hazy conditions each morning. But notice here over the next couple of days, largely on the dry side for most areas of the state. Now, we can't rule out an isolated chance for a thunderstorm as you head through the valley as well as into the Copper River Basin as well as parts of the interior. But the active weather stays out west, where we're going to see areas of low pressure building through the Bering Sea. So the Aleutians will see some increasing rain throughout today. As we head overnight on into your Wednesday, we'll see increasing rain building north out of the Pacific into the Bristol Bay, Kuskokwim Delta area. That may clip parts of the southwestern parts of the Kenai as we welcome in your Wednesday, but most locations will stay on the dry side, and of course we'll see some rain for Kodiak. So again, most areas of the state trending on the dry side, plenty of sunshine that will carry us through this week with temperatures warming into the 70s and even some 80s. Here across South Central, again, waking up this morning, we do have some localized areas of fog, even some cloud coverage, particularly for those areas nestled up against the coast as well as Cook Inlet region. We'll warm into the 60s today. It's going to be a pleasant stretch of weather. We'll see some 70s as you head north into the valley. And again, can't rule out that isolated chance for some thunderstorms in some of those higher elevations. So 60s and 70s to be expected across the state as we head through the rest of today. Tonight into tomorrow, we're going to see the Persons peak. So you want to look to the northwest between 12 a.m. and 5 a.m. Rates of about 30 to 50 meteors per hour. So that's one thing you can look for as we welcome in the middle of this week. Daily highs, though, holding near 70.
School is almost back in session, and for thousands of Anchorage families, that means the big yellow bus is coming back too. The Anchorage School District moves more than 20,000 students every single day. This morning, Danny Tompkins joins us to take us inside their preparation for the new year.
That's right, Kristen. Whether your child rides the bus or walks to school, the Anchorage School District says there are things every family needs to know before that first bell rings. And it all starts with the people behind the wheel.
Check, check, to check, check, and check, check, to check, check, indoor and outdoor.
Before a single student climbs onto bus 207, Mama T is already on the job.
Everybody knows me as Mama T. They even stop me in the grocery stores. Mama T, Mama T.
She is just one of the drivers moving more than 20,000 Anchorage students to school every day. This is one of the 288 school buses that cover the Anchorage School District. And this bus carries elementary through high school. Mama T's motto is, "We're all on the same bus." But before students step on board, Heather Phillips says drivers are already out this week doing practice runs.
We always come back and we do driving, so we renew our skills on driving a school bus. It's 40 foot long, so it's not like it can articulate in the middle for making turns.
And the training won't stop when school starts.
We encourage them to continue training that we offer throughout the school year so that we just never stop training.
For families, the first day matters more than you might think.
It is so important for your student to get on the bus in the morning, introduce themselves to the driver so that the driver knows where they get off in the afternoon.
And if you're behind the wheel of your own car, pay attention.
When the red lights come in and the stop arm comes out, that means you stop. You're not allowed. It is against the law to pass a stop the bus.
For Mama T, her job is more than the route.
It shows me all my stops that I'm going to make. You have a great day on the bus, it shows me how to have a great day in school. That's what I do.
And her message to every student climbing on board?
It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Let's get busy.
The Anchorage School District has a free app called Stop Finder that lets you track your child's bus in real time and get alerts about any stop changes. Kristen.
All right, thanks, Danny. Getting ready for back to school means there's a lot to track: shopping, registration, ensuring everything is ready to go. But there's one checklist item that is easy to overlook: immunizations. Kids have key vaccination windows entering kindergarten around age 11 and again at 16. Those include vaccines for measles, meningitis, and HPV. Measles rates are higher now than they were 10 to 15 years ago. And with tourists and travelers coming into Alaska all summer, public health nurses say the risk in Alaska is real.
Measles is very contagious. So if you are not vaccinated against that from childhood, then you may be exposed. And kids especially, they're more susceptible to getting really sick from measles. So just with how much influx we have of people, tourists, things like that, it's always a good idea to have the recommended vaccines.
If you need to get your kids caught up, Chief Andrew Isaac Medical Center is hosting back-to-school clinics through August 25th. The next clinic is Wednesday from 5 to 7:30 p.m.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting. Available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.